Big story for families across this country as school programs are considering to cut physical education programs. There's a new study out, in fact, a brand new study that really has sweeping implications that cutting any sort of those programs would actually be very harmful to our children, not just because of their weight, but research is finding that physical activity may actually make your kids better students, which is an interesting connection. Dr. Richard Firshein is here, director of the Firshein Center for Comprehensive Medicine, and you said you ran around a little bit before the segment just to kind of make sure that you're smart enough to answer.
Yeah, the first thing as soon as I read the study, I took 10 minutes, did some physical exercise to prepare for this interview.
I'm going to ask you whether or not it applies to adults as well, because apparently it applies to kids. This group looked at 12,000 students in Nebraska and found a direct connection, first study of its kind, between activity and how well your kid performs in school. What is that connection? Why is there one?
It's so significant, and you know, there have actually been a number of studies over the years that have pointed to this particular benefit from exercise. You know, we know that exercise benefits, lowers blood pressure, reduces your risk of diabetes, reduces your risk of cancer, lowers your weight, improves your metabolism. We know it does all those fantastic things. These studies have actually shown now that exercise improves a child's ability to retain information. And what's so significant, particularly in one case, one study showed that was published in May that 10 minutes of physical exercise improved a child's retention of math and English dramatically. Another study, 12,000 students actually showed significant improvements in terms of their ability to learn. And a final study, that's the most recent, showed that when children were separated into two groups, their ability to retain information significantly improved when they had the best physical fitness.
And they had to do this before
Yes.
they went into their study.
Yes.
It was something that it was directly ahead of taking in the information.
Yeah, and well, so what we know now is if you exercise immediately before you are asked to retain specific information, your recall is better, your instant recall is better, and we know that children who are more physically fit perform better overall.
Well, I'm going to get a jump rope right before set. Maybe before the show I could just kind of jump rope on set for a little bit just to make sure that I'm ready to go as well. Interesting to note that body size had almost no role, so that students that were overweight but had the activity were in the category of the students that perform better. So just by looking at kids, you wouldn't necessarily know, oh, that kid looks fit, they're going to perform better.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The children that were heavier but were significantly more fit had much better recall than those individuals who were thinner but were not physically fit. So fitness in and of itself confers a significant amount of improvement in terms of how our children learn.
Did it indicate at all how much physical activity the child needed? Meaning, if walking to school, does walking to school do this, or do you really need to let your kids run around a playground or do something like that before they head to class?
We're really looking at, you know, again, each of these studies showed some significant immediate and long-term benefits, but the long-term benefits seem to be conferred if you have about an hour of physical exercise a day, which is typically what we want our kids to do in phys ed. Here's the situation. You know, we have something that's going to improve our child's learning, maybe the most significant factor in improving a child's learning, and that's being cut. In addition to some of the things we know about nutrition, physical fitness is a significant impact.
Very interesting new study, Doc. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to having you back.